Okay, being 7 o'clock, I'm gonna bring the, Thursday, March 5th, meeting to order. All three selectmen are present, town administrator is present. Leo Martell will be video recording for the benefit of the public, and they will be uploaded to the town website by Linda Nickerson. I have some old business, gentlemen.
I'll make a motion to approve the regular minutes of February 19th, 2026 as amended.
And I will second that.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion?
None.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. I'm gonna abstain, cause I wasn't at that meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the 8:49 non-public meeting minutes of February 19th, 2026 as amended.
I'll second those.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And abstain.
Those are not to be sealed.
Yeah, no need to seal them. I'll make a motion to approve the 8:21 PM non-public meeting minutes of February 19th, 2026.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
I second that.
Motion been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
And those don't need to be sealed.
Correct.
Okay. I wanna thank my fellow selectmen for taking care of that meeting. I think that's the first one I missed all year.
You know, I did sit in your seat and I bruised my knee because of the low
That
hanging post there. Yeah, I wasn't prepared for that.
Hey Dave, there were rumors that you were snowmobiling.
Yeah, there was.
Keeps you from jumping around. Alright. We're gonna go out of order, so let's bring Ken Kerber up with the garden club.
Well, for the record, we should just point out, this is Dave's last meeting as a selectman with us, so thank you, Dave.
Thank you. You're welcome. Here we go.
Hey, we got the whole delegation. Ken Kerber,
Nice.
31 Stark Highway North.
Carrie Carbonell, 251 Mansion Road.
Donna Vaughn, 80 Stark Lane.
Okay.
And historically, the garden clubs had the charter for maintaining the common.
Yeah.
keeping it orderly. It's okay, but it's not colorful. And I'd like to, I kinda got inspired to do something a little more color. I've been doing that down where the triangle is, that you got a little planting there with the stone.
Yeah.
I worked on that for 2 years and it looks like it's quite viable, if you can, keep something going. So we'd like to do a similar type, more elaborate, planting around the bandstand. Biggest problem is keeping it watered. And the simple solution is to run a line from the faucet on the town hall, under the walk, across the lawn, and then have it appear over by the bandstand. And at that point, I'll put in drip irrigation and the usual stuff, but,
How would you run it under the walk?
a whole, talk with, Granite State does this, not Granite State,
Capital Well.
Capital Wealth does this. And I talked to them, and they said for a short span like that, they would just go underneath. So it should be no disruption to the
Oh,
walk.
so you guys would be hiring an irrigation company along the line?
We'll talk with them. They may do it pro bono,
Okay.
not clear. Basically, they had the tools for it, and you just narrow trench, drop the pipe in, and, cover it over again. That way it's not a tripping hazard on the lawn or anything of that sort. And, it would then be some kind of a, mechanical timer or whatever between that and the faucet, so that, there's a division in there, so it's usually disconnected.
Yeah. Those will come with some maintenance to blow out every year.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah. I don't have any issue. You guys have
Are
any
these-
issue with that?
Are these, you looking to do a combination of annuals and perennials, or just one or the other?
Well, if you got 2 minutes, I'll go on to the rest of the picture. What I've done at other locations is to get people involved as a community activity and divide it up into individual, each person gets a little garden to work with, so that it's up to whoever wants to put something in there. They might wanna put in bulbs, combination perennials and annuals, you know. It's amazing what happens when somebody's responsible for something. That's been the problem here, is that, it's very diverse. The committee does it, but who's in the committee and who shows up? Individual responsibility. It's obvious your patch isn't weeded, there isn't up to snuff. And it's backup. I run the farm down the road, and I've got a crew that could come in a half hour, clean up the whole thing. So I'll kind of personally backstop it to make sure that it does never look, out of sorts.
There's a wind spigot on the side of the building, I believe.
There is.
We put like a Y there, or just make it like a semi-permanent?
Yeah, I mean, for the, old home day, we put a Y in there, so they can water down to the, face painters, and water for the, cooking team.
How many sections around the, bandstand would you envision for like owners? I don't even know how many sides to the bandstand are there. Are there 6 or 8 or?
There's at least
It's
8.
basically pretty much round.
I think it's 6.
I think I'd have to poll the garden club and see how many people are interested.
Okay, you hadn't, I mean, I'm just asking kind of
Yeah,
questions.
yeah,
I'm a
yeah.
gardener myself, so
Um,
I like the
We
idea.
have a really hard time, Dana, getting folks to come down here in the summer to help us maintain it, and so we're just trying to brainstorm on how we can give them a little bit more personal attachment to that area, so,
You
yeah.
have to create a reward for it too, like at the first place, second
Yeah.
place, and third place.
Yeah, exactly. I think
Also,
we
just
do.
owning something.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
gives you a little, like, even if you just had a little tag saying, you know, maintained
Well, yeah, I mean,
by
the possibility.
Dana Lavoy, I'm not gonna let
You
my
can put
flowers
names
look
on
bad.
We have our first candidate.
Leo, you had a question out
Yeah,
there?
is there gonna be a theme to this, or is it a free-for-all? I mean, if it's a free-for-all, you might have some kind of funky looking,
Yeah, I was thinking the same
8-foot
thing.
sunflowers on one
yeah,
side.
you know what
You
I'm
should at
saying?
least think of a theme to keep them somewhat visually the same, so
Sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
you're not looking at corn stalks on one side, sunflowers on the other.
Yeah, I mean, our current thought is like anything is gonna be better than what's there. It hasn't really been revamped by any means in the last several years, so there's a couple of similar clusters of daylilies that are just kind of the only thing that are pushing through year after year. Last fall we did divide those, so we do hope, we're working to spread some color, but also just whatever people put there, honestly, is gonna be better than what's there currently, just in terms of like offering a little bit more variety and color.
I will tell you, behind the school, there were some areas that they were doing plantings, and the kids were involved. And after 2 years, that got left go, and then they didn't mow it because it was supposed to be a garden, and it wasn't a garden. It looked pretty raunchy to me, driving through there, it looked better if they just mowed it,
Sure.
and I think some of it ended up getting mowed over again, but
Yeah.
I just would wanna make sure it doesn't develop into something like,
And eyes will.
it started out real
Yeah.
good and doesn't.
Yeah, so I mean, what we're coming to you for is just to talk about the irrigation. We're not making any drastic changes aside from hopefully adding a bit more color, but
Right.
we're certainly not like expanding the gardens at this point, we just want to
Yeah,
support them a little bit.
yeah.
Is there actually, stuff in there now?
Yeah,
That's-
unremarkable things.
I mean, it's bright sun all
There you go.
day with no water, so it does a little bit, but
I think that
So,
right there,
Tucson, Arizona type,
Yeah.
dusty,
climate there,
exactly.
Cactus.
I think that
Yeah.
daffodils and a few other, bulb type,
yeah,
as well as the daylilies.
yeah.
I'd also just like to stay in touch with you all about what you're saying, Dave, because that is a gardens club space, so let's come sit with you each year and say, okay,
Right.
the corn stalks are gonna go, or whatever, you know.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
great idea.
I think, and I know you're kind of on your way out of this, but I'd love to continue the relationship to say, what can we do next? And I think in terms of what Capital Well will do for us, then do we next tackle a drip in the gardens in front of the library space as well,
Yeah.
right? So do we start small and then see if we can,
And that irrigation you could keep on the inside of the walkway, you know,
yeah,
might even do it at the same time, who knows?
I like the idea. It's a very visible space. It could actually look quite beautiful.
great. That's what we were hoping for.
You can even put labels on and become educational.
Yeah,
I like the idea of ownership too.
yes.
I don't think it could ever hurt.
I'm
Great.
very much in favor of that.
Okay, sounds like you got the
Yeah.
blessing.
Love it.
Thank
Okay,
you.
great. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, have a great day, thanks for coming in.
Ken, thanks for bringing that up the other day.
Thanks for getting me on the agenda.
No worries.
You got my email.
Yes,
I'm
you
gonna
did,
pop
thank you
down
very
to
much,
the,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
sign with the client.
Yay.
Oh, we got moderator right here.
Nope, go ahead, Jennifer's, oh,
Still comes?
whatever.
Oh, she's here now, let's go. So we renew the town clerk, the town moderator for the elections and town meeting update. Look
Thank
at
you very
that.
much for the opportunity this evening. As far as just an update, so we're gonna have set up on Monday the 9th at 1:30. Woody has a meeting that evening, so he's gonna do it, we're gonna do it a little early than we typically do.
And they're all aware that it's a transfer station.
Yeah,
And,
he's already communicated with us about it getting a key to get the podium
Yeah,
that's up there.
yeah. And speaking of the podium, Woody keeps mentioning that that's getting tender, so might wanna consider a
Probably wouldn't hurt to
replacement
have one of our town, craftsmen to build another one of those so that we don't have to keep hauling them around as well.
or, you know,
Maybe we should make just a nice election one or something.
yeah.
Let the other ones stay down the school or whatever that we have.
Yeah, cause like Lean says, that in my understanding, he keeps that, the one that he keeps moving back and forth is coming from the library, so,
Okay.
you know.
Reach out.
This
we'll
one
reach out to
has
a few
historical
people.
significance that
Yeah.
Fred Mullins always talked about.
Yes.
Correct, yeah,
I think that's the one we're talking about.
But even if we do a couple of Dunbarton emblems on them, we kinda do them in boxes that we have made for voting.
yeah. I think
Okay.
I've spoken to all three of you gentlemen as far as your roles and responsibilities, and I shared with Dana some, information from the zoning book, so, or the voting book, I should say, and obviously you gentlemen have done it a couple of years. If you need to be excused, just let me know and we can make it work.
Okay.
Yeah, but if, again, I understand you get your pro temp, and Dave, whatever you can do, if you can't, it is what it is. Again, your duties will be as assigned, so, again, just the more people we can get to learn how to be a ballot clerk, I think that's always the hard one to kind of fill. People are, I think some people get intimidated, they just don't know what they're doing, the fear of the unknown.
And that's when mistakes can be made too.
Exactly, yeah, so we not only need people that are attentive to what they're doing, but, yeah. Competent, thank you. Again, Jen has been working with the poll workers, and she's developed a schedule, she's dealt with the meals, has those orders. David, if you're available, or if you want to do, Jennifer to do something, just let her know, please.
Okay, I will.
Yeah,
Thank you, Jen.
as far as tables, again, I have not been, Don Lawson hasn't reached out to me, and I say Don, I guess, usually he's a good one, but I know Donna, one of the women that was right here, she had reached out to me for, the Girl Scouts. They've done it in the past and they know the routine. Don Miliota's.
Do we still get a 10%?
Yeah. It depends.
Okay.
In cookies.
And cookies, that's it. Joe Miliota's, gonna be available for us all day. That's that short order, and Jennifer, I'm gonna let her introduce the town's new computer here to,
Yeah, our accessible voting system arrived tonight, essentially after business hours. John has tested it, I've tested a bit as well. We as yet have no instructions, but other than what the person who delivered it gave us, but I was able to download what they call a marking file. It's essentially the program that prints what the user is choosing, like what candidates or yes or no, prints it on the ballot. So the person makes all their selections for whichever ballot, and there's a printer included. And so if you load the paper correctly, then it'll print the correct selections. And John's tested that pretty thoroughly in that
so
hour
far so
or
good.
so, that it's printing properly that way. It is a little bit of an interesting situation in that it's supposed to have been thoroughly tested no later than yesterday. We didn't have it yet, and according to the directions, that the Secretary of State is issuing, but they haven't issued yet. So, so
We're
I'm,
doing our best.
I
love it.
emailed you all this contract that the Secretary of State, it's an agreement, I guess.
You sent that this afternoon, right?
No, I sent it several days ago,
Oh, okay, I didn't see
or
it
at least a
tonight.
few days ago.
But this is something that you have to sign.
Yes, so this agreement I sent to you, I have to sign, so I'm planning to annotate it with when possible as far as that 6 days. It also speaks of, I have to ensure that the device is stored in a secure and climate-controlled area restricted to key election personnel and logged in accordance with provided guidance, which they haven't completely provided yet, but we pretty much know if it's accessed, then, and so I'm gonna be really tight to figure out where to store that under lock and key in my office this evening. I'm hoping going forward we can come up with a plan. I'm assuming maybe the dolly doesn't have to be under lock and key, I don't know.
Nice to keep it all
But-
in one piece, so.
Yeah, and there's no way I can keep it in one piece and locked. Cause
Right.
just a door lock is not gonna, can't just say, oh, it's in my office, it's gotta be under lock and key. So, that's an issue.
What do you mean a door lock is not good enough?
Well, I mean, the lock on the door to my office isn't good enough to say, oh, it's locked and only accessible to election personnel. I mean, the cleaners can get in, other people get in.
So the
it's not-
vault is only limited to personnel that
But
work
it's
here.
election, key election personnel,
Okay.
that's what the agreement says, so, yeah, vault
How
is
big
not,
is your trunk?
it's not climate controlled.
That's right.
No, just to bring it home.
But yeah, bring it home and store it in my house, but it's not key election personnel either, I know, don't think it hadn't crossed my mind.
He's like,
I was like, can I just put it in my car, and it's like, oh, that's not climate
I
controlled.
mean, we won't be the only town not having a specific area.
Right,
I
and I'm
agree.
not saying we need a specific area, but just that this is hard to fulfill the requirements of this agreement required by law.
And I don't know, you have a little back cubby there, but that's not lockable, I haven't been there in years, but.
It's lockable, but there's two issues. One, I'm not sure that these would fit individually in the cubby, and two, there's a issue with like mold or whatever, like Linda was never able to fully clean it such that, so we only store things back there that we don't plan to access regularly, or, like pre-election, we'll put the ballots someplace else. Post-election, where we only expect them to be pulled out if there's a recount, then we might put them there. Does that make sense? So we're very cautious about the type of things we put there. It's things that are just for retention and then going for destruction. That's the type of storage. So ideally, I know there's historic, but it might be if they can't be cleaned properly that we have to have a plan down the road to rip those out and put in some other sort of storage.
So the closet that's in the tax collector's office, could we add a latch and a lock that you have a key during
And,
that period?
and the tax collector won't,
Right. For that short period of time,
which short period of time, this is staying with us
forever?
forever
Well, these
until
are
things
ours.
change, yeah,
Oh.
those are assigned to
really?
the,
oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
it's not
like
just like-
this is
Okay.
not
It's
like
not
just
on
for this
loan
weekend.
for a week.
Oh, I thought it was a
No.
loan. Okay.
This is like we're accepting them and storing them
So we
between
almost have to create
elections.
a storage closet somewhere in the building.
Mm-hmm.
I think-
That can be
I think
locked.
maybe in that back
Potentially.
cubby she has.
Yeah, even
maybe
if we
a
could tear
kind
that
of
out, put a
build
new one in there.
storage there.
I don't know, but,
We'll have to look at it.
yeah.
They
so,
look
yeah,
heavy.
Not looking for
Are they heavy?
individually,
They're just bulky.
well, yeah, when I hefted the printer, I was like, oh, that's heavy, and the same thing with the unit, the device. So they're not light, but when they're in these, they're not like undoable to lift, they're not like, oh. But it's not light. I was surprised at how heavy the items were.
Lee and I would probably just recommend maybe you and Jennifer together, maybe look at what you can reconfigure and then maybe build back there to get rid of
I
those
mean,
old
if we
ones.
have to do a separate wall inside that walk-in closet and use the back space for her
Maybe.
storage. Then that allows access to the front, but she's got the lock and the latch on the back.
That's what I was thinking, some
Yeah.
way in the back somewhere.
Yeah,
Oh, Greg's coming in tomorrow, we'll ask him.
There you go, that works.
Alright,
Okay,
so that's
If anything,
one
make
thing.
sure it's listed on your insurance. I would assume that it
Okay,
would probably be the town's responsibility to ensure that,
yeah,
in case.
Yeah, and the contract, agreement also specifies that, so every single item in here, the cases and every single item in here, not just the device and the printer, but every accessory, has a state issued label that's numbered, okay? And if anything goes missing or stops working, we have to go through the state to replace it. We can't say, oh, well, let's replace that component. The agreement specifies we have to go through them and then pay the state,
Okay.
so. So, yes, it's our new toy, whether we like it or not.
We're in the, just for the record, for the people in the past, we used to like get one from the state and we return it at the end of the election, correct, John?
Right, we would get the tablet,
Yeah,
but we were storing the other equipment
right.
here, but not the tablet. I don't know what the full agreement was on that. But, so we still have that too, that we're waiting to see
Disposition.
how we get it back to the state.
Okay.
anything else, you guys?
So yeah, things are progressing, the tally sheets I didn't do yet, they're partially done, but not done yet. Name tags we finished, so any change, like your pro tem or any other changes, I said this afternoon when we finished them, like, well, we'll just handwrite. So I'm sorry for this election, but just to
That's
keep
okay.
things moving along, unless we have bonus time Monday, but,
John, do you want some selectmen help on Monday?
If you would,
Yes,
yeah,
I wanna make sure.
available, yeah, you're available.
It's in my calendar.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the time on one again was,
1:30 on
1:30.
Monday.
okay, I think that's it then.
Good, yeah, no school on Tuesday, so.
Thank you guys for coming in.
So
giving
we'll
us the
be done by
update.
10 o'clock on Tuesday?
John,
All right.
congratulations, I wasn't here, but.
Thank you very much.
do you wanna make it official and sign it here?
I'm sure.
Very, very surprised.
Yeah, I heard that and I was happy about that.
Yeah.
So just so the board's aware, there's gonna be 3 corrections, in the town report. There are 2 on the school side, and then 1 on my side for the earnings of the employee staff, the bottom. The one inserted in the town report was a draft, so there's a small adjustment to the bottom number that was reported on the 941. But on the school side, I inadvertently missed one of the tabs on their detail expenses, it's a summary page, so I have it inserted in there. They said that they would, have copies of that single page to hand out, and then they never sent me their new audit report. I didn't get it till last Thursday, and at that point, it was already at the printer, and being delivered to the post office, so
Oh, I'm sorry.
that's inserted in that one.
Okay.
And the one that you have for the town meeting, I'll make sure you have all the.
In the script too.
A little variety.
Share the script with me.
That's nice. Good touch.
Who's presenting what?
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
maybe I can,
Don't forget your circle, Dana.
I didn't ask
No, that's
them,
only
but
one
it's
thing.
pretty, it's ironed out pretty easily
I've
with
tried to
the
mess you up.
reserves, department head, but I'll come up with
Just,
something.
yeah, sometimes it just helps the,
Lee, do we wanna present this copy to John now?
Yeah, yeah.
Let's give it to him.
We'll leave it in the official
Give
sign
me
here.
my draft
yes,
back,
I will,
so-
I still have it.
Thank you, John.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate all your work for the town.
Yeah.
We can let the
It was a,
officials sign here, post it, you can save that for your
It was a big,
memory book.
it was a big surprise, trust me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was cool. Thank you.
We deliberated a long time over that.
Well, when I got home in Texas, oh, the girls knew since
The kids
December.
cried.
Oh, yeah, they both knew, you know, I was like,
That's good.
oh, yeah, it was a good one.
Congratulations, John.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well deserved.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what's on the agenda.
Public comment first.
Oh, yeah. Anybody got any public comment before we go into the rest of the agenda?
You have, I saw two public comment sections, you have one now and you have one
Generally,
later.
we have one at the end.
I'll save it later,
Okay,
in case it gets a little lengthy.
yeah. If it does, I'll let you have it anyway.
We'll see how much oxygen he has left.
Exactly.
Used up a little quicker than I thought, they said a couple hours, just turn it up a little. Okay. You guys wanna do the personnel policy?
Yeah.
Adoption.
Basically, it's something that we've already agreed to and went through, and, Lean wants to publish it, I understand.
Yeah.
So it gets it out. It's a change we made already.
Yeah.
Or agreed to the changes we made.
Right, so this is just the, certificate.
We already made motions to these, so we're just accepting
Yes,
this.
certificate of adoption, yeah. I'll get the town clerk to notarize it and then distribute it to all the personnel.
Comes down to-
Thank you, Dana. Okay, the next thing we have on the agenda is the board to sign a grant agreement between the town of New Hampshire, or between the town and New Hampshire Department of Safety, Homeland Security Emergency Management.
And this was talked about at the last meeting
Correct.
also, so this is just signing something that we've already
Do you have that signature here?
and each page needs,
Oh, right here.
No, this is,
That's how-
that's the job description.
and each page needs initials, which
The board has already,
we've already done
Signed.
also
Yep.
those.
Okay, I'll read this motion then. Somebody will have to second it. I, David Null, make a motion, seconded by
Dana Lavoy,
Dan Lavoy, to accept the terms of the emergency management performance grant as presented in the amount of $4,000 for the LEOP update. Furthermore, the board acknowledges that the total cost of this project will be $8,000, in which the town will be responsible for a 50% match of $4,000. Motion made, second, all in favor?
Aye.
aye,
Aye.
and that $4,000 match from the town is for already incurred payroll expenses, essentially for us to participate in the process. It's not an expenditure outside.
Write your name in there, Dana, and the rest of it's open signed.
That's more for public information.
Okay, next thing on the agenda, we're already done the garden club, we're gonna go to the road agent appointment paperwork. Right here is a, road agent appointment, we have to appoint a road agent this year, as it's not gonna be an elected official. This agreement has been spoken about with Jeff Crosby over the last several months. He's brought this to light, so when he's done this job, it transitions into a job where we hire somebody, on a year or a 3-year period of time for the road agent's position. And that compensation will be discussed at that time we get a new person. So let me read this appointment. Dear Jeff Crosby, the town of Dunbarton Board of Selectmen are pleased to offer you the appointment as a town expert road agent for the town of Dunbarton. The appointment is made pursuant RSA 231:62. For the term of this appointment shall be a period of 15 months, 21 days, commencing March 11th, 2026, 12 AM, 12:01 AM, and expiring on June 30th, 2027, 12 PM. This 15-month, 21-day term is established to facilitate the maintenance of the highway and oversee the highway department personnel for this transition period. Duties and responsibilities were listed down here. Supervision of the highway department personnel and equipment, snow removal and ice control, road maintenance, grading, drainage improvements, enforcement of load limits, budget management, and road reporting to the selectmen. The compensation will be as follows: salary rate will be $35.12 per hour. COLA annual cost of living of 3% will be added as it typically has been. COLA is applied retroactively to January 1st, same as the rest of town employees. This is a part-time position and will not qualify for benefits. I do wanna make a note that the, equipment you just uses as a subcontractor, the equipment and operator, for that equipment will be at the same rate as it was previous years.
Could change. Everything goes up.
Yeah, if
My
you come,
costs go up.
you have to come into the board though.
Hmm?
You'll have to come into the board, right?
Okay, well, I guess.
Yeah. You will report directly to the Board of Selectmen. A performance review will be conducted at a 6-month mark and at the end of the 15-month term. To assess performance, budget adherence, and potential reappointment. By signing this letter, the town of Dunbarton on March 10th, 2026 will confirm your acceptance to the position. You all set with everything on here, Jeff?
Yeah.
Okay,
Does it say 12 PM on the June 30th?
yeah. Says 12 PM and the other one's 12.
End of the day.
End of the day.
End of the day, you're done.
I wasn't convinced to stay
That says
on.
Let's extend
dinner time.
That's a long
He's trying to get out early on his last day.
I'm leaving at noon time, lunchtime.
Jeff, I just wanted to say thank you for bringing it to our attention, so we don't have
Yeah.
to struggle again.
I figure with that
Should say 11:50.
time period, start making the
That's all right.
transition.
You know what, we might actually let him go at noon time, cause we're probably gonna have a party and a cake for him that afternoon.
No parties, no cakes.
Take a beer.
I thought too, you got basically, the selectman's office says roughly 10 months to maybe craft a job description and a direction, and that'll give you time to, if you're gonna make any significant changes, or if it stays the same, get it in for your budget for the year 2027, if you make any monetary changes that you'll need to do.
And what I do appreciate is that you have it mid-year where it's not in the middle of snow season.
Yeah, no, I thought that was better timing.
Exactly. That was a.
Jeff, you wanna come up and sign it right now?
If you want me to.
We'd like to lock you in all the
Yeah,
time.
no, that's fine.
Before you have second thoughts,
Before he gets his lawyer involved.
Just disappear in ink.
Only for the grants. We finally get a good pen in the office, I'm leaving.
What's today? Today's the,
Fifth.
well, thank you. I think it'll make a decent transition for.
yes.
And just,
I'll do it.
I'm sure if you come into the select board, you know, fuel's increased or whatever, and you need $5
Yeah, no, that's
per
what I
hour,
was
that's
gonna
it.
say, we didn't have a number locked in.
Which is
but-
kind of a separate thing from this anyway.
That's fine,
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that.
I just wanted to make sure that people were aware.
Yeah, it's the
That's
same
how
way
you
it's been
create-
working
yes.
for the owl with the equipment, exactly, thank you for that.
That way it's in the meeting minutes.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay,
Quick question if I may. After the
At the end.
transition period that you go through
name and
here,
address for us,
Ron Slocum, Tenny Hill Road,
thank you, Ron.
at the end of this transition period, will this become a full-time position? I know Jeff has been part-time for as long as I can remember.
We're thinking it will unless we hire somebody with a similar circumstance that we
Okay.
have.
We're keeping all options.
I think it'll all be negotiated at that time, but I'm thinking most likely it will be,
Okay,
with full-time benefits and everything.
that's what I was wondering, because I know Jeff,
Theoretically, it gives them, the select board, a period of time to maybe get a direction
sure,
and figure it all out.
Maybe even talk to a few people and try and get it on.
Yeah.
So maybe
track.
solicit some people.
And
because
we'll have to,
I think Jan before you was also part-time, wasn't he?
Everybody's been.
Yeah,
And the major benefit, which Jeff pointed out to us, it expands our recruitment zone.
Mhm.
Before, the road agent would have to come from Dunbarton, now we can go beyond Dunbarton to
As
find
an
a
elected
qualified
official.
person.
Cause you guys also had your own companies
Yes.
that you were doing.
Yep, yep.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you. Next thing, let's review the highway asphalt prices. Says for 2026.
That's with the same vendor we've been using.
Advanced excavation
Yeah.
paving. They've been pretty good to us over the years here, it looks like.
Yeah, I believe the asphalt prices are exactly what they were last year.
Once again, it's a pleasure to work with you and the members of your department. Past paving seasons, we appreciate your business and trust and place our company. You place in our company. We would very much like to continue working with the relationship by signing this agreement to pay for the town of Dunbarton in 2026. Machine paid prices includes the tack coat 8830. Handwork paving is $145 a ton. Reclaim is 1.25 a square yard. Fine grade is 80 cents a square yard. Flaggers are 52 per hour. Bobcat trimmer is $1.50 per hour. And the sweeper is $1.50 an hour, 150 an hour. So,
The oxygen's low.
that being said, Jeff, I think the tack work might not have been listed in there separate last year, cause,
It may not have.
yeah. Cause I think the dollar amount is different, but that's because the tack work's added to it.
Yeah.
So I'm good with these prices that are listed here, I'll make a motion that we accept the pricing from Advanced Pay.
I'll second that.
I think it's like the fifth year we've used them.
What's the percentage increase, looking like?
It's basically the same.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it's all the same.
Oh, okay.
They just
The
added tack
caveat,
coating in there.
the caveat with all paving contractors on large scale paving like this is, they all have what they call an escalation clause in their contracts, which is follows the state standards. And basically, it's all ties into what the price of liquid asphalt is at that time. And if it goes up, they adjust the price accordingly, and it's gone down some, most of the time it goes up a little. Given what's going on in the Middle East today, it could change the price of liquid asphalt. Typically, the contractors that supply that, the stuff is bought a long period of time ahead. But they just put it in there for protection. One year we were dealing with pipe and for whatever reason, I can't remember, it was a number of years ago, there was a significant spike in, and they had to go back around and tell everybody, hey, listen, we had to do this, so everybody in the industry that bids on this kind of work now adds that in just for its protection. And it's the same rate that they would use with the state and follows whatever the state does, so it's not just an arbitrary number, it's uniform throughout the industry, and they would all use that same rate.
Okay, thank you.
Typically, it doesn't amount to a lot, you know, it could be $1 or $2 a ton, but it adds up.
Okay.
Okay, next on
Did
the,
we actually vote on it? I don't think we did. I had discussion, by the question. All in favor?
aye,
Aye.
Thank you, Jeff.
okay. Next thing on the agenda is fire department personnel changes. Looks to be quite a few changes here going on in the fire department. I'll read you his email and then we'll go over the official changes. Good evening, I wanted to share some information with you regarding recent personnel changes. On February 18th, 2026, firefighter Cody Marcoux obtained his license with the state of New Hampshire as an EMT. This is a huge commitment and accomplishment for Cody. We are immensely proud of him and beyond grateful to have him dedicated to EMS. In February, J.R. Swindlehurst notified me his intent to step down from his role as captain within the department. His primary oversight and responsibility was fire suppression and training. He will remain on the department to best utilize his knowledge and expertise. He will serve as lieutenant. This lieutenant's position was created to allow him to continue to be a valuable asset and to provide leadership at the emergency scenes in the absence of a higher ranked officer. The internal posting was sent to the department members as of February 17th, soliciting interest in the position of captain with a deadline February 27th. One applicant applied. On March 1st, Jackson Crosby was promoted to captain of the Dunbarton Fire Department with a functional responsibility of fire suppression, including training, oversight, equipment and supplies, scubas, etc. He will be the assistant deputy chief to Chief Marcoux, with maintenance of the fire apparatus as needed. Jackson brings a wealth of knowledge and experience and training gained during his time with the Dunbarton Fire Department for more than 9 years as a career firefighter, serving the Raymond, Goffstown and Bow fire departments. On March 2nd, at our monthly business meeting, Fred Mullen tendered his resignation from the department. He proudly served the department and community of Dunbarton for more than 52 years, supported by his wife and family. Fred has elected to remain a member of the Dunbarton Firefighters Association and continue his support of Dunbarton through his nonprofit organization. We are forever grateful for his years of service, knowledge and dedication. Please thank Fred when you see him around town.
Yeah.
Big thank you going out to Fred from our department here, select board. And, I just wanna congratulate Jackson from our board as well for stepping up to that position. Any other members have anything to say?
Nope, very thorough review of all the changes there.
Looks like some good steps in the
Yeah.
department.
Yep.
Glad we were able to get somebody local for it too. Okay. Going on to mailbox items now, our full agenda is done. And I think part of the other packages.
It is.
Okay. We have a letter from a local resident addressing complaint for snow removal.
That was our response.
That was my response, yeah.
The snow removal was spoken about on, over on Ordway Road.
Correct.
And there were some things that, they need to be made aware of within our town. On that letter, you got notified
I'd like
with
to
that.
thank Lean for taking the lead on getting that done, thank you, Lean.
Yeah, good work.
I haven't heard any complaints since.
And there was some communication issues about where it was and what the needs were, so we responded to that in the letter.
And Jeff, thank you for your input there.
Again, the next thing on this, mail list is the early setup on Monday, on the 9th for the elections at 1:30. Next thing is an email from the trustee of the trust funds regarding a write-in for trustee of the trust funds.
I would not announce that here, that's politicking.
Yep. Next thing we have is the bookkeeper has a memorandum with updates on vacations, leaves, forms and repayment in advance of vacation leave. This is one you're gonna give to each of the employees.
Department heads and employees, yeah. Cause now we'll utilize that for the part-time PTO as well, if they need to request that.
You want that initial to just put in the,
Yeah. There's a show top there, like on the second page. just gonna state a couple other things, they're not on the agenda here, but,
What's a non-public?
I could just gonna state,
Pardon?
we lost the employee.
You wanna just keep that non-public for now, just to,
I'd say no for the public,
Yeah.
we may have a shortcoming in services, so.
okay, oh,
Yeah.
it's not a bad idea then, okay.
Yeah, we just had we had one of our employees left, that was the planning and zoning coordinator. So we're gonna, do a non-public and go through some quick steps to keep that department operating while we get a new hire in there. We did lose another employee at the, highway department this week, not the highway department, the transfer station this week. So you're gonna see a sign out there, and, we'll, have that sign out there running, and we may post it in some other spots. But, it looks like our regular spring turnover is gonna happen, as it normally does. But we did get through the winter with most of them, so. So that's looking good,
It's a perennial problem.
yeah. Bringing it back for public comment now,
Ron Slocum, Tenny Hill Road. I had two topics I wanted to discuss, hopefully they'll be quick.
okay,
One is, I know Dana, since you're here as well, a lot of bad press about community power. People are dropping left and right because they increased their rates. I thought our rates that we just went through the process were fixed for a period of time.
That is true. Yeah, so for public awareness, the news that you're seeing is there are community power providers out there. And the New Hampshire Coalition for Community Power is the one that some other towns had as their agent. We're using a different agent for our
Okay.
community power. So they actually, that coalition of New Hampshire Community Power had some financial issues. And they've had to raise the rates that they're offering to their residents, so they're not beating the utility rates.
Right,
And therefore, some of the towns are actually deciding to withdraw from their community power agreement because of that. We actually did use, we had selected Standard Power and not New Hampshire Coalition of Community
Okay.
Power. So we have a different agent and a different provider, and none of that news that you're hearing in the Concord Monitor and on Facebook pages applies to Dunbarton.
okay, cause I just got my first bill from Eversource that showed the new power supply, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh no, it's gonna change again.
Yeah, no, well, we are good just as it was described in those public hearings, so the
Okay.
11.2 cents for default Dunbarton
16
Community Power.
decibels long, yeah,
Was it a long number?
it was a
there?
long number,
Yeah.
yeah.
It is, yeah, that's still in play until December 1st of 2026.
and
It's
you
still
know, I
good.
think, with this war going on, gas prices are obviously changing. They said natural gas is gonna follow it, so I gotta think we're gonna be in a decent position even on the
Yeah.
next move for Eversource and Unitil.
Yeah, I mean, obviously now we have the ability to shop over the next number of months, for a new rate starting in December 1st, but
Right.
we are locked in with those rates until December 1, regardless of what happens in the world energy market.
Okay, cool.
Yep, so it'll give us enough time to negotiate a good price again, hopefully.
And we had actually evaluated a number of different community power agents at the time, and not to say that we knew that they would run into financial trouble, we didn't know the coalition. We happened to select one that turned out to be fortunate for us.
Got lucky,
Yeah, we got lucky.
cool,
I won't claim that we foresaw that the problem.
No crystal ball.
the Coalition had, yeah.
Anything else, Ron?
okay, topic 2, we discussed it last year at the budget hearing, and that was about buying a special mower for a one-purpose use. It went to the town meeting, there was a lengthy discussion about it, I know Mike, you raised it, and it was turned down at the town meeting to not purchase it, to let's look at landscaping study. I've been going through the minutes for the last year, the only reference I've seen to figuring out what to do there for landscaping has been a brief conversation where the board appointed Dana to talk to Woody about what options over there. There's been nothing in the 12 months of minutes about any progress. The reason I'm raising that now is because I see in the warrant article, here's $92,000 to buy new equipment, a skid steer / compact tractor / telehandler. Those are completely different machines. But what caught my attention is also in that folder that has a quote for that is a flail mower for $4,000 and change. How did that get snuck back in when the town voted it down last year?
It's not stuck back in. We looked at the landscape out there and the grade, and as rough as it is out there, we decided it needed something that could be mowed with that. These guys have also had time to go out and learn that that's been being pushed by hand by one of the little DR mowers.
Mhm.
That's a substantially aged now, and it's that time of replacing it. And it's taken our guys several days to walk the entire area, because not only is it rough there, but it's rough around the backside of the building and on the right side where you see they're mowing. And so with this newer piece of equipment, it was talked about like a one-time use or a one-time thing. That piece of equipment is gonna go on with a skid steer attachment, can be used on any equipment over the next 20 years.
I understand
So
that.
it's not a one day or a one-time use.
No, we didn't talk about it as a single-use machine, we talked about it as a single purpose.
Actually,
only
at the
reason
town meeting,
buying
did get used, it did get talked about that way, but.
Right, but it's a single purpose to be used only for mowing at the transfer station.
Yeah.
Now, what have you done about fixing the landscaping over there, cause that was one of the topics we were supposed to do, is figure out how to fix that so the area was more manageable. I think even Leo, in the minutes I saw, why don't we, grade it and mulch it so you don't have to mow it? Where's the discussions on that, instead of spending this money?
There had been discussions on it, Ron, it might not have made the minutes, but that grading out there, it's all backfilled and there's sinkholes all over it, and
They can be filled.
they can all keep being filled year after year after year, but that's the difference, we're gonna buy a mower to mow it and leave it as it is.
Okay, which raises part two of this whole thing. And believe it or not, I'm not against Woody, I'm trying to help the guy out. He spends an awful lot of time over there. I know his overtime budget is, I was looking at that, is another $6K or so this year. He's short-staffed. Why is he responsible for mowing the transfer station when we have contracts in town for taking care of all of our other property? That would be like you're asking Lean to go out and mow around this building. Really? I don't think that's gonna happen. Why don't we conclude that in the contract for
Well, I can tell you.
grounds
one thing.
maintenance, that it covers that area
If you
too?
took the $4,000 and spread it out over like 20 years, you're never gonna get anybody to mow that yearly for that amount of money. So
That's the
one
point.
thing.
Also add on to that the $6,000 a year in overtime that we're paying people in the transfer station to mow property.
But I can tell you, there's not 1 hour of his overtime that's spent to mow that property. His overtime, if you'd followed all the meetings, he's been waiting in traffic down there. When we go down to do our dumps and change out our things, sometimes you gotta wait 3 or 4 hours depending on how many people make it there in front of you. He will actually leave at 4 or 5 in the morning to get there ahead of schedule, so he doesn't have to wait in line, so he's there when they open the door. He has snow plowing that he has to address. He's had 4 new employees he's had to train last year on all the equipment, the banders, the closers, all that. There's not been one part of any hour that he's used.
Well, I understand that, but that's, the hours that he would spend doing that is hours he could be spending doing something more productive that actually supports the transfer station, like some of these other responsibilities.
He wasn't the only one mowing down there.
But that's other stuff they could do, and especially now that he's down staff,
Now, you do realize, Ron, when they're mowing, it's on like their down day or their downtime.
it's still time that
So-
they could be spent doing things otherwise inside the
What
buildings.
things, Ron, what are you telling me?
What else do they do inside the buildings? Isn't that when they do the baling?
They do bailing all throughout their hours, they come in
Right.
one day that they're not open to get caught up and cleaned up. So that day that they're not open is typically the day they will mow. You know they're only mowing it a couple times a year down there, right?
There's that, but also who's plowing their driveways?
They do all their own plowing.
Right, cause I remember, I think Jeff, you were part of this a long time ago. It was discussed that the road department would be responsible for plowing that lot. Now, I don't know if that had
Never
changed and that never went through.
We got too much on our plate.
Okay,
So we've got the skid steers down there that we plow with.
Right.
And we have the, town transfer station pickup truck that they plow with. So those 2 items, and sometimes they use the backhoe loader to stack the piles up.
right, so what's concerning though is, we had a specific discussion on this in the town meeting last year. It was voted down. Now you're gonna buy it And it's not even any place to decide yes or no to buy it. You just made up your mind, we're gonna sneak it in the back door and include it in this line item as attachments and be done with it, even though the town said
It's
no.
not gonna be stuck, it's gonna be talked about at the town meeting.
Okay, because it doesn't mention it in the warrant article, it just says new equipment and attachments, and I'm trying to think, what attachments? They're universal attachments. If you get another skid steer, it's the same quick attach bracket.
That's right, it'll
You've
always
already
be
got
able
all
to
the
use.
attachments.
It was talked about at that last meeting last year,
Okay,
like it was a one-time use, one-time attachment that could never be used again.
well, that
In
was
that meeting.
incorrect.
I know it was
Yeah.
incorrect. And
I think
instead
there was
of,
also a reference where the piece of equipment, cause I was only there as a bystander, I wasn't elected yet, but there was a reference to the fact that the existing piece of equipment was totally suitable to do what needed to get done. Because I think there's even notes in the last town meeting, and I know I physically went down there and looked at this little brush hog device
Right.
there and realized like, this is,
Hand
They're,
pushing.
they're not adequate. No.
this is
They're
probably,
hand
this is
pushing it
not,
over
an-
that
right, it's not an
terrain.
adequate
Right.
piece of equipment to do what we were talking
Right,
about.
so now you, but if you're not gonna address the terrain issue, you're still gonna have a problem.
no. Cause a skid steer or that loader or whatever we have down there is gonna be able to go over the terrain. Now, if you're suggesting we take and put $4,000 or $5,000, $6,000 worth of loom there, make it beautiful,
No,
so you can mow with a mower.
no, I'm
You
saying
still need
put
to
down
spend
terrain, you don't have
$4,000
to
on
mow
a
it
mower.
all.
I'm just saying,
Yeah, I
still,
don't think, what I saw down there, I don't think that it could be evened out enough without a lot of money for fill, right? Cause there's always these sinkholes that are developing, cause I guess it was old, fill brought in from the I-89 exit two. All that debris that's under there with
Is that what it is, Jeff?
granite,
Yeah, there was,
right, was that exit one or two?
in some areas back
They
there,
had extra material when they did exit two over, and they brought a lot of the rocky ledge up there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right,
And they backfilled it, and consequently, that's where the sinkholes come from, and over time, it filters down into
Sure.
the holes.
yep.
It
drainage
was just, they
water.
needed a place to get rid of it,
So-
found out.
I think there's some areas that still have piles of tires under the dirt,
Piles of what?
piles of tires. There used to be
Oh, really?
tires
Right.
buried out there in the back. I don't know if they're in that area.
I know when they put the solar array in, what they ended up finding were these big chunks of granite.
Yeah, okay,
That were down there, and they're probably just odd sized chunks, and then there was fill went in, didn't probably fill all the gaps, and now as rain and other drain
Sure.
water happens, it's creating the sinkholes. I do know, Woody has been filling the sinkholes with, as needed, so at least you can drive something over and you don't lose a person or a leg or something in the sinkholes as someone walks around, so he's maintaining the sinkholes. There's even one section underneath one of the concrete pads where the solar panels, that's actually sunk down like this, and it's caused the solar panels to tilt like this.
yeah, sweet,
What's that?
sweet.
Yeah, so granted, it's not doing any damage to them, but we don't know if that would continue or not, so we've actually contacted Granite State Solar on that, so that they can address that, and we believe with the brackets and the staging that's connecting the solar panels, they can fix that. You're not gonna jack back up those concrete pylons in there. But in any case, I don't think, unless you wanted to make it a beautiful area, I don't think you could, for the money, you couldn't spend enough to make it smooth enough, or any smoother than it is now, other than the fact that he is
No, I
making it
just think
smooth
of
enough
turning
you
it
can
into
drive
something
something.
that you don't have to mow.
Yeah, see,
You know,
I don't.
If it's hilly,
I
I don't care if it's hilly or not, cover it with some kind of material that you don't have to worry about mowing.
I think that would cost a lot of money also, to stop anything from weeds and everything from
Yeah.
coming up through. I think that would be a pretty big expenditure.
All right, well, like I said, we're asking Woody to do a lot with what he's got there, and he's getting stressed. And, asking him to also take on
I don't think
lawn
it's just-
maintenance.
I don't think it's just the mowing part, it's most of it's the turnover, you're constantly. draining
Exactly,
them
he's
out.
short-staffed anyways, and then
Short staff.
we're expecting him to do these additional duties and then connecting the dots where it's turned down and now all of a sudden we're buying it anyways. Okay, that's where I was missing the connection. I'm looking all through the minutes, I see no conversation, all of a sudden it appears in a worksheet of, we're gonna buy it.
Some of the smaller discussions don't always make every bit of the meeting minutes either.
Okay,
And just so you know, like you said, there was a skid steer slash, compact loader, telehandler.
yep, completely different machines.
Absolutely.
3 different machines that can all do some of the same items.
Well, telehandler can't do half the stuff the skid steer can.
No, but I think the one they're leaning towards is the, compact loader. which can do it all and has much better visibility for
It has the
around
front
there.
hydraulics, cause the telehandler doesn't.
So, the one he was looking at, the mini telehandlers actually do have the hydraulics, but,
Yeah, cause you need that to run the deck and whatever else
Yeah.
you've got.
so, all the equipment's been looked at, and the reason we didn't specifically put one item, we're gonna go to probably 8 or 10 companies to look at these items, and if they've got a special on this one item, I didn't wanna list a skid steer, have a great deal on this, compact loader and not be able to, utilize that, so.
Yeah, we weren't set enough on the quotes and the bids for exactly what we needed and wanted.
And
we
this,
wanted to give
is this
Woody the
replacing
opportunity.
the skid steer
Yeah,
that
yes.
we have?
Yes.
And don't we still have the forklift? Or is the
No,
skid
there's
steer
no
totally
forklift.
replaced that?
No, but it's the same thing as, we have forks for the skid steer.
Okay, we don't have a separate forklift,
No, we have, from what I know, we've got brand new plows
right,
for the skid steer, we got the forks for it.
you got a bucket,
Anything else for the front of the bucket,
Those are interchangeable,
yeah, that's what I mean, they're quick attach, so,
and they were all updated under his regular maintenance line.
okay. Alright, I'm just trying to connect all the dots.
And the last thing we're trying to do is, pursue a grant where we can, put a drills with the engine block and get some money for it.
We did
Well,
actually,
we already got a $5,000 grant,
4 or 5, yeah, right.
I think it was
Well,
5, right?
the current one, you're gonna turn it over to White Farm?
The old one,
Yeah,
if we don't find a better use on the grants with it,
okay,
so. And that money will go to the general fund, we're no longer, selling things and putting it back towards that department, it all has to come to the general fund.
right, and then you can reallocate it to trust funds and stuff as needed.
Yes.
Yeah, gotcha, okay.
Auditors told us we gotta do it by the book.
Oh, I know,
Well,
appreciate it, thank you.
Thanks for coming and get those, it helps on the town meeting when it's a little bit smoother, and we don't have to redo it all in the town meeting too.
Mhm.
Anybody else? Joe?
I just wanna make a general statement from the road highway department. We've come to that magic time of year when mud season's coming, and the dirt roads will get muddy. We've had a lot of growth on our gravel dirt roads in the last few years, consequently, that brings problems. They're gonna be soft, and with the upcoming weather, they'll probably get incredibly soft. We're aware of the situation at the highway department, we monitor them, we do what we can to make them better. The worst thing that happens is the amount of traffic. Everybody has UPS, FedEx, Amazon come to the houses, so it increases the traffic on these roads. And it's similar to when you were a kid and you went out in that mud and you bounced up and down with your feet. The next thing you knew, you were up to your ankles. It's just a fact of life of living in New Hampshire and in Dunbarton, and you will get complaints about it, but we are on top of it, and we do the best we can with it. Hopefully, we'll get a nice even thaw, and it won't be horrible, but we are gonna have some problems, and they are gonna be coming up, and it probably will start next week.
Yeah, we got some 60s next week
Next
coming, right?
60s, yeah.
I just wanna say thank you to you, this gentleman's also responsive to, concerns. A resident had concern about getting out in the middle of the, this snow plow and all that
No,
kind of
but I
stuff.
mean,
He
I'm talking
responded
about the mud
appropriately,
now, I mean,
Yeah.
there's nothing we can do about it.
No,
It's
but
a
you
fact.
responded to make sure she can get out to work.
Not to be wise, but
Right,
these
kudos
people
to you.
chose to live on these roads.
Right,
And
absolutely.
I feel sympathetic for them because they bought a $900,000 house on a road that gets muddy, but,
That's life.
you know, that's not my decision.
I don't mind the mud, it's the dust control,
first.
Yeah, Leo's lived on one forever,
yeah.
but it never used to get this bad, did it?
No,
With traffic.
It was just
yeah,
the
there's a lot more
conditions.
people, yeah.
Okay,
I will say the Amazon guys should get charged a tax.
Yeah, I mean, it's not any one person's fault. And now, the big thing we're running up is, people don't go to the dump anymore. They put their trash cans out beside the road, and we have a number of individuals that come to town with the trucks to pick up the
Yeah.
garbage, and they go to their houses.
Every
They
Tuesday
go on
morning.
These dirt roads, so
Yeah,
it
some
just
go by.
increases the traffic.
Yeah, Tuesday mornings about 10:30, we have the the garbage truck going up to Tenny Hill.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, we're gonna have to live with it, we're on top
Thought
of
you was
it,
going to
they
your
can
house.
call and complain all they
Thought you
want
was
to the
going to your
town
house.
office, we're aware of it.
Not me,
And another
Pretty
public,
limited in what we can do.
passing through.
another
But you-
public
yeah.
announcement is, March 9th, Monday.
Yes,
Is
road limit,
the The road, weight limit signs are gonna go
Will
up.
be in place, yes. The 12-ton limit till further notice. Christine sent a nice notice out to anybody that had a building permit out, so they would be aware of it. In any of the building projects a while back to make sure that they, to plan accordingly and all that. And that, Dawn had started that process and it seemed pretty effective. You didn't get the calls, oh, I didn't know about it anymore. And we'll just deal with that. I don't think there's a lot of large scale house projects going on right now.
They did get that excavator off the end of Kelsey Road.
Oh, did they? Yeah.
So
Good,
that one's out of
good,
there.
good. Alright, that's it, that's all I got on that topic.
Thank you.
Thank you, thanks for
Get
coming
it
in.
in there. That's it.
Good job, Jeff.
Thanks, we'll see you.
Okay, I'm gonna take a 2-minute recess, and unless you guys wanna go through the selectmen, if you guys have any other notes,
Any more comments?
okay.
No, school, just remember.
I'll take a
for
2-minute
the
recess,
public,
we'll go into non-public, okay?
Oh, he does have an announcement.
the school board, meeting this Saturday.
Saturday,
Great.
And,
School Little Red.
4 to midnight.
4 to midnight.
The non-public will be per RSA 91